on now. Okay. Hebrews. This is our Prophets of Awakening. This is our women's advanced Bible study night, 27th of January, 2022. I was I was dealing with some stuff last night on a video that we was watching, and I said I was going to come back and show you how they what they did with when it comes to the woman and their role in our culture and how they twisted it all up. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight later on in class. Is with the Gospels and the woman in the Bible. So we look forward to that. I'm asking everybody to like and share, subscribe to Prophets of Awakening channel, and hit the notification button. Please. This is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh is the Old Testament, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses on Mount Sinai by the Lord of Hosts. Okay. So I want to say shalom and welcome everybody to Prophets of Awakening channel. Welcome to Women's Advanced Bible Study. And I want to send out a welcome to everybody that's listening in. If you want to come in through the link, you just contact me at that number, 337-802-0889, and then we get the link to you. So, yeah, make this experience a little more exciting for other Israelite women that's coming in. Okay, that being said, I want to say we're going to do our moment of silence for all that the Most High is doing in the Lord of Hosts to bring about our turn our captivity and return us back to our homeland. So I'm going to do a prayer and a song, and then we'll do a little women's health, and then go into current events. Okay. Oh Lord, we come before thee, thanking you for your mercy and your great power. We appreciate you, oh Lord, for your patience and your guidance in these last days. Oh Lord, we thank you for awakening us to this great understanding of your word. We come before you. Keep, direct, and guide us through the upcoming week. Oh Lord, for there are trials and pestilences and mayhem at every turn. Oh Lord, we see your mighty hand in the world's affairs and how you are constructing your people's deliverance. And we trust and rely upon thee. For this cause, we honor and respect you greatly. Turn not thy face from us, but allow it face to shine upon us in our searching of you to find you, O Lord, and to dwell with you. Peace be on you. Okay. We got somebody that's going to read a song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me be Psalm 16. Let me get it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Psalm 16. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord, thou art my Lord, my goodness extended not to thee, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that hastened after another God. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintaineth me. Thou lines are fallen unto me in pleasure, in pleasant places. Yea, I have a godly heritage. I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore.
Okay.
Yep.
So appreciate the reading of that Psalm
Mhm.
16. You got any comments on it?
Um, my thing is, it was just the last part when I was reading down. It was just saying, "My heart is glad," and you know, my glory rejoices in He. And that it says, "Thou shalt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore."
Okay, yeah, right, exactly. So, um, anybody else have anything they want to shine light on? Any verses?
Shalom. I just want to in verse 4 to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that no matter what David did, he would not follow um, pagan beliefs.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
That is what verse 4 is really saying, to me. Um, he was not going to do that, no matter what.
right. Well, the thing about that is, if you got the, you see so many people, which is I see Christians, Israelites alike, Christian Israelites, and all of them, they want to make it like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, certain things will come up and they make it optional. Like you got an option. There's only one truth.
Right.
There's only one truth, and it's a lie. So he tells you in verse 4, their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of the blood will I not accept. So he's telling you right there, he ain't dealing with no blood.
Right.
So they killed JC and that whole concept right there. So
Right.
it's one truth. That's what I mean by he tells us that in the latter days he's gonna pour his spirit out on us, and then he says, those who have ears gonna hear, and those who have eyes to see are gonna see. And if you don't have those ears and those eyes, you're off track. It's that simple. And so going along with what we know is the Psalm of David, in verse 10, we see who the Messiah is. Between verse 4 and verse 10, the New Testament is denigrated. It ain't nothing, it's been, wiped out. It says, verse 10, for thou will not leave my soul, is David talking. For thou will not leave my soul in hell, neither will thou suffer thy Holy One. They go to Messiah right there. He's talking to the Lord of hosts. He says, for thou will not leave my soul in hell. We already know the story in Second Samuel. Second Samuel 23, when he told you what happened to him when he passed. He says, for thou will not leave my soul in hell, neither will thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. So we see right there, like I said, between verse 4 and 10, kill the New Testament. But I want to shine light on verse 5. It says, the Lord is my portion uh, of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. So what is he talking about?
Yeah,
So,
that's what I wanted to ask you about. It was so similar to us being his inheritance. I was going to ask you about that one.
right. So we go to Daniel chapter 12. And Daniel chapter 12. And I'm in verse 13, chapter 12, last verse. This, this, this is what he's telling. I'm going to start at verse 10. He's talking to Daniel. He says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Then, just like in 2 Samuel with David, he tell you what happened to him. 12 says, "Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh through the 1,305 and 30 days." Then 13, it's the Most High talking to Daniel. "Go thy way till the end be," to the end right now, where we at now. "For thou shalt rest, sleep, and stand up in thy lot in the end of days." So it's 12 lots. When they came into the land, Joshua divided the land up to the Israelites to the 12 tribes. They had 12 lots. The land mass for each tribe, they had a lot. So that's what, go here right quick. And we're going to see something. I'm in Obadiah right quick. Go to Obadiah. That's why this stuff is so important. So this what Esau done in 143 BC. It says, in the day, verse 11, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away captive his forces, foreigners entered into his gates, cast lots. See that? The 12 lots. That's the Edomites. They picked out what land they wanted to be in, and what they gonna call, what tribe they gonna call themselves. So when you get to the New Testament, that's the people that's talking about. I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, I'm from this tribe, I'm from that tribe. They stole it right here by Lot. It says, foreigners enter into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. So that's what he's telling him over in Psalm 16. David saying, "The Lord is my portion of my inheritance." That's Judah, the tribe of Judah, the lot of Judah, the land mass that Judah got. He says, "The Lord is my portion of my inheritance and my cup. Thou maintaineth my lot." And he told Daniel the same thing: "Go thy way to the end, and then in the latter days, I'm gonna raise you back up in your lot, in your tribe." Okay, is it making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, I was gonna read at women's health. So anybody got anything on that for? I got a little video I'm gonna play.
I just want to do a little update on. I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about Lauren Smithfields, the one that had the date with the older white guy, and she ended up dead.
Right.
Y'all
Yeah,
remember?
I
Right.
remember hearing about her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, for the longest, they did not want to do any type of investigation or anything. They just left it unturned. And I was reading yesterday that they're gonna finally do a criminal investigation on it because it was fentanyl, and I think it was something else, but I know it was mixed with liquor. So they was trying to figure out where the pills came from.
Right.
So they don't know if he provided them because right now he cannot be found.
Okay.
Wow. What is
Yeah,
fentanyl?
that's sort of
Pain, something like a pain
like
pill.
a pain. Yeah,
Okay.
Right.
yeah.
But what's happening right now is these Mexicans in the cartel, they're making these counterfeit generic, it looks just like a regular fentanyl pill or pain pill, but it's not. And that's what so hundreds of people are dying off of that because it's something else in it that's like it's potent, but they made the pill where it looks just like a pain pill. So
Mm.
they'll see it, grab it, think it's a pain pill, take it, that's it. They don't wake up. They find them somewhere foaming out the mouth, dead.
Uh,
Okay,
And
yeah,
that's
that's it.
she wasn't foaming at the mouth from what they were saying, but they were saying she did have a lot of blood coming out of her nose.
Right. Well, it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The body couldn't deal with the potency or whatever it was is in that pill. That's what that is. Yeah.
Right. And again, it's not really being talked about a lot unless the families speak out and all that. But they're seeing again the numbers rising with, missing black women. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but it's not really being, spoken of, through the media,
It's
the police.
not.
Right.
Mm.
I've noticed that too.
Right.
They said every 5 hours a black
Yes.
woman is
Yes.
killed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. I think me myself, when you look at the big picture, it's they on the internet. They're on the internet, and that's where it's starting. And they meeting these people on the internet, and then they going to go meeting them, and don't know nothing about them, and they ain't right. And a lot of it is, like I said, hate to say it, but a lot of it is those immigrants that's coming over here. We at a point now where they'll talk to everybody but the black man. And that's where a lot of that stuff coming in. They diffused the relationship a long time ago between. There was a strong bond between the black man and this and the black woman, and they broke that down. And now it ain't there no more. And so and I'm got a first hand witness. All the time. You go into McDonald's or you go in there, they looking at you crazy. But the Mexican come to the counter, or the white boy, they all laughing, talking with him and giggling with him, but they're looking at you crazy. And, you ain't even did nothing. They didn't open the
It
doors.
is. It is. It is. It is. I know it's spiritual. It is something that's right now that's happening, and sometimes I see some changes, but it's not good right now between our people.
Right, same thing with the males too. They do this the same way. Both ways. It ain't just the females, but yeah, both ways. And it's because they severed that tie a long time ago between us. And, yeah. So let me play this right here. I thought this is the kind of important.
Leonard, when you play that, I wanted to bring up something. I wanted you guys to watch a video, and I'm going to share it. It's a black lady, right? And her last will, she leaves everything to a white pastor in her will.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This morning we're focusing on the mental health and trauma Black women in America face on a daily basis. In a new series for Shape magazine called The Mental Health Cost of Being a Black Woman in America, Chrissy King writes, quote, "It's time to take a look at the heavy load that Black women are carrying and how they're coping or struggling to with their circumstances, along with the beauty, the joy and resilience, and the pride they've managed to craft and nurture along the way." Chrissy King joins us now. She's a contributing editor of Shape's Digital Spotlight. Good to have you with us. So, just from that quote there I read in your piece, you explained the daily pressures on top of the mental burden that Black women face. What did you learn in writing this about Black women's mental health struggles?
Thank you for having me. I think, being able to contribute to these articles as well as read all the other articles in the piece is things I already knew, but also many eye-opening statistics. One of them especially important is when we're talking about mental health care, and especially for Black women. It was staggering that only 4% of therapists in the United States are Black. And so when we're thinking about finding a therapist that's culturally competent, that's a huge barrier to access just to begin with.
East by saying, quote, "You've likely heard the phrase strong black woman. Can you tell us more about this title, how it came about, and how you think it plays into mental well-being?"
Absolutely. So this idea of a strong Black woman has been with us for a very long time, dating back to slavery. And when we think about it today, the impact of it, it's this idea that we as Black women have to have it all together, have to be resilient, have to be strong, have to take care of everyone else as a priority before ourselves. It prevents us from asking for help sometimes. And so it has a huge impact on mental health because in one way, we're taking care of everything, we're getting things done, and sometimes we're making it seem really easy, but on the backside, we are suffering with anxiety sometimes, depression, really struggling to keep it back together behind the scenes, and really struggling to ask for help when we need it.
This series also focuses on beauty standards and how that impacts someone's mental health. Your colleague Tatiana Walk-Morris spoke with one Black woman, Sydney Clark, who talked about how her mother and sister have lighter skin than her. She said, quote, "It's something that I dealt with for a long time, kind of wishing that I was whiter so I could fit in with my family. I was trying to understand why I ended up looking like this." That's the quote there. Talk to us about some of the Eurocentric beauty standards that Black women face and how its impact goes just beyond someone's appearance.
Absolutely. So when we're thinking about Eurocentric beauty standards, this idea that lighter skin is more attractive, straighter hair perhaps, wanting to have a thinner nose, a very particular body type. And as the woman in the article was speaking about, colorism within the Black community is a real issue, right? And so she, having darker skin than the rest of her family, felt like she wasn't as beautiful or wished that her body was different. And so when we're thinking about Eurocentric standards of beauty, it's this idea that we're always striving for something other than what we are. And of course, it has an impact on mental health because your body is what your body is, your skin color is your skin color, and this desire to be something else can really put a lot of mental angst on people, and also shows up in other ways. When we're thinking about Eurocentric standards of beauty, and also it's not just us that feels that way, it's society at large that has a preference for certain types of looks, Eurocentric looks in general, and so there can also be harmful impacts from not fitting into those standards in the workplace, with colleagues, and all types of things.
Chrissy, there's still a lot of stigma around reaching out for help, seeing a therapist, someone to talk to. You mentioned that staggering 4% number when it comes to therapists. Your series Reshape includes a story on the shame of therapy. Tell us more, and is this stigma changing?
Yeah, so unfortunately, there is still a lot of shame and stigma, particularly within the Black community around mental health. And so if you read the piece of mental health talks about not feeling comfortable reaching out or having family members say, like, you don't need therapy, we can just pray on this. And so there definitely is still a lot of stigma around mental health in the Black community, but I do feel like that's beginning to change, especially for Black women. We think of notable Black women like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka and even Lizzo talking about mental health and taking time emphasizing your mental health. And so I think that stigma is slowly starting to change, and more Black women in particular are reaching out to get the help they need, because ideally we want to be surviving. We want to be not just surviving, but also thriving. And reaching out for a therapist can help us sort through some of those issues.
Chrissy King with Shape Magazine. Such an important series. Thanks so much for taking time to talk with us about it this morning.
Okay. Anybody got any comments on that?
Well, they're trying to say that we don't seek the help that we need because of, I'm going to say one reason, financial reasons, not able to have health coverage, good health coverage.
Right.
I just don't believe the numbers are alarming like that. I just, again, I think that they're trying to put us in the same category as the Karens, the cuckoo folks. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that's exactly, what it is.
Yeah, then they were bringing up the skin, the colorism. Even though we have colorism in this community, they have colorism in all these communities. And I don't think that is the main issue with women. You know what I mean? I just think it's just the pressures of being a woman and, being a double minority. You're a woman and then you're a Black woman. And then our community is not very supportive of Black women. Like you can see, we don't have a lot of people even acknowledging these women that are dying every 5 hours. They
Right.
got a whole website called the Gun Memorial, and it's not only these women going on these sites. It's their sons killing them, their husbands, their boyfriends. And nobody's even. It's just the last one I saw on the Gun Memorial was this mother. She was married. She had a husband. Her husband had went to get something to eat or something, but she had I think I sounded like 22, so he really needed to be on his own and getting out of the house. But a lot of times they don't find jobs, so they still live with their mother. Then the mother had uh I don't know if it was her brother, but another adult that had cerebral palsy that couldn't take care of himself, so she was taking care of her adult son, this other adult male that had cerebral palsy, couldn't talk, couldn't feed himself. And then she had it was um, her dad. I think it was her dad. So, that's just a lot. I don't know. It's just a lot. You don't raise your children, but then you've got a permanent child if you're taking care of somebody with cerebral palsy. But ended up the son that was 22, he ended up using a machete and chopping her head off. This was like 2 weeks ago. Chopped her head off with the machete. The husband wasn't on. They said he had been talking about the Egyptian. He had got into this Egyptian, and he said that um, some deity told him to do this, and that his family wasn't listening to him, and they were evil, and all of this. I want to say he killed a granddad too. Can't remember, but it was horrible. And it was her own child, her own adult son.
Oh my goodness.
So, we're under these curses. It's a very spiritual thing going on right now.
It's coming. It's actually coming to a head because it's pretty much every week I see somewhere somebody killed their wife or they killed their children or every week. But the thing about it, like I was saying, is when you go back to our culture, our law, statutes, and judgments, you got the Chinese. No matter where he at in the world, he still know who he is, and he know where he came from. He know the way it's at and all that, and all people except us, and that has a lot to do with mental health. Through the time you growing up, you don't
Yeah,
even know who you are. You don't even know who you are. So that's the importance of right now in these last end times, being the last days. That's the importance of having a strong Israelite woman that you can communicate with.
right.
That both of y'all know who y'all are. I'm quite sure everybody that's on the line can attest to that because it transformed your thinking since you found out who you was
Yes.
and gathered this information.
Exactly. Right.
So that's a lot of it has to do with the men and the women is all the lies and all everything that happened to us and that we don't even know who we are. It's got a lot to do with it,
Wow.
and the intermingling, the mixing.
Mm.
Okay.
And one thing too, as soon as you do go talk to somebody, the first thing they doing is sending in a prescription, trying to fill you up with medication.
Right. And it's got side effects.
Right.
That's where all the drama coming in. That's where it's all coming from. And like I said before, these especially these Mexicans and the Chinese, they got these generic whatever they making and concocted over here in America. These Chinese making it a generic brand of it, looks just like the original one they made over here, and they don't know what's in it and the side effects of it. Because you got a whole uh, big old fleet of people going every day crossing the border, going and getting generic prescriptions, bringing them back over here, and they don't know what's in it. All they looking for is it look like the other pill that's been through the CDC and all that over in America. And if it do, they grab it. Right. So that's got a lot to do with it too. So I got some couple more videos I want to play, some more information. Okay. So, like I said, you might as well get ready for this right here because it's coming. Let me get it. You see that?
Yes, now we can.
Because Europe is afraid to take on Vladimir Putin. The reason is energy. A bulk of Europe's energy supplies come from Russia. We're talking about crude oil, natural gas, and solid fossil fuels. Russia has been an old, reliable supplier. The first imports date to the Soviet era, in the 1970s. As of today, 40% of Europe's natural gas comes from Russia. And that's a lot of dependence. And there are no easy substitutes. What do you think will happen if Russia cuts off supply? Europe will freeze, forced to brave the winter without heat. The sheer prospect spells horror for them. Europe is already suffering a shortage, reeling from its worst energy crunch since the 1970s. It began last year. In 2021, gas prices in Europe shot up.
See, now you see why Russia flexing their muscles the way they are.
By 600%. You heard that right, 600%. Prices spiked due to a shortage, and they blame Russia for it. Let me tell you what the head of the International Energy Agency has said. And I'm quoting, "We believe there are strong elements of tightness in the European gas market due to Russia's behavior. I would note that today's low Russian gas flows to Europe coincide with heightened geopolitical tensions over Ukraine." So was Europe's gas shortage engineered? Did Russia reduce supply to gain leverage over Brussels? This is a moment of realization for the European Union. They fear being arm-twisted. EU policymakers say Russia could cut supplies again and split Europe over Ukraine further. There are 4 distinct scenarios that Europe fears if Russia invades Ukraine. Number 1 is financial sanctions on Russia. Western powers could unplug Russia from the global financial system, and Europe does not like the sound of it. Because Russian banks use dollars and euros for energy transactions. If Russia is sanctioned, the transactions will be blocked. Scenario number 2, Russia could cut gas supplies itself. That would cripple Europe's energy systems, and that explains why they do not want to push Putin beyond a point. Scenario number 3, sanctions against Nord Stream 2. It's a multi-billion-dollar gas pipeline from Russia to Germany. If Russia invades Ukraine, this project, Nord Stream 2, will die a slow death. The West will be compelled to sanction Nord Stream, and you know what that means for Europe? An $11 billion project going down the drain. Also future energy supplies. Scenario number 4, Russia could cut off the Ukraine hub. Europe, you see, gets 1/3 of its Russian gas from Ukraine. The pipelines pass through Ukraine. This supply could become collateral damage if tensions escalate. So in all 4 situations, Europe will lose energy supplies from Russia, and that's why it is split over Ukraine. That's why some European countries do not want to pick a fight with Vladimir Putin. Russian energy supplies have hamstrung Europe, and the bloc only has itself to blame. It has failed to wean away from Russian energy. Europe has failed to replenish its gas and its gas reserves in the summer. But the bigger mistake was the failure to secure supply in the long term. For years, Europe has pushed for day-to-day spot pricing to buy gas. The better option is a long-term contract. Pick a supplier, fix a price, and extend a multi-year contract. But Europe does not.
Right. So this ain't just this situation right here ain't just manifest overnight. These are Chinese and these Russians been plotting all this. They've been setting all this up, and that's why they moving in for the kill now, because they already got everything all set up. And they ain't gonna back down. Like I said, they ain't all of a sudden not do it. It's in but a matter of time, and all hell gonna break loose. Like I said before. So let me show you. Let me go. I'm going somewhere with this stuff. Okay. All this going on as we speak. Can you see that?
Yes.
It says U.S. NATO using military moves to send message to Russia over Ukraine. So it's the U.S. and NATO. They send these messages, but like you said, it ain't working. It says when's the arrival of the American F-15 fighters in Estonia, whatever it is, to join an ongoing NATO air policy mission over the Baltics would normally not garner much attention were it not for the rising tension of the possibility of Russia invading Ukraine. So we're going to play this right here.
Rising tensions overseas, President Biden ordering 8,500 U.S. troops to be put on heightened alert. They are ready for rapid deployment to support America's NATO allies if Russia invades Ukraine.
The President held a video conference call with European leaders to coordinate the response. More diplomatic talks in Paris tomorrow as Russia builds up its forces on the Ukrainian border. Senior foreign correspondent Ian Pennell is on the scene in Ukraine. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. That's right. Both Russia and America and NATO increasing their military options around Ukraine, adding to this sense of an escalating crisis. But at the same time, there is still reason to hope that perhaps diplomacy could win the day.
This morning, the United States and NATO allies pledging more reinforcements for the region, with additional weapons expected today as the Russian troop buildup gathers pace. Overnight, more Russian military trains arriving to the north in Belarus as Russian ships setting sail in the Baltic Sea. Meanwhile, President Zelensky of Ukraine giving another nationwide address, urging people to stay calm. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken accusing Moscow of menacing Ukraine, saying it's an issue of global consequence.
Even as we're looking to advance the diplomacy, advance the dialogue, we have to be, and we are prepared when it comes to defense and deterrence.
The Kremlin accusing the administration of hysteria, saying it has no plans to invade. President Biden meeting virtually with European leaders, discussing efforts to deter Russian aggression on the Ukrainian border. The US now placing 8,500 troops on heightened alert for rapid deployment to support a NATO response force if necessary.
The United States has taken steps to heighten the readiness of its forces at home and abroad.
But for the time being, these troops will not be deployed to the region.
I want to reinforce that as of now, the decision has been made to put these units on higher alert and higher alert only.
As American troops remain at the ready, other NATO countries also deploying further military resources to the region.
Okay, so like I said before, life as we know is going to change once this happens. You know, the Bible is going to really come alive then. You're going to see some people scrambling. So, incoming. Like I said, all this stuff is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's all just been written. Anybody ever heard of the Great Reset? You know what that is?
I've heard of it. I don't remember what it was about though.
Where it's about, you know, it's like the monetary system and everything that these people have set in place that's got the world going now. They're gonna reset it. To, you know, they're gonna reset that. You know, they have to stop. Yeah, that's what you see going on right now. These high ups and these the Illuminati and all that Bilderbergers. They want to pretty much shut the system down that's in place now. They want to come with another system, which is what metaverse is, cryptocurrency, all that is what they want to, you know, end the system that's in place now and start that system. They synchronizing it. You can see what they're doing right now when you understand what's going on. Like I said, they have a whole other system over there. I keep talking about the Road and Belt Initiative. That's a whole other system they have in place. They trying to go into that system and at the same time get rid of the one that's over here in the West. That's how you know that Russia and China is the future. Like I said before, and when you understand Russia and China in the future, you got to go back and reread the Bible, recalibrate the end times, because Russia and China is playing a role in the end time. But like I said, there's nowhere in the Old New Testament, nowhere in the chain of events. So yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna play this about the reset. This was getting ready to happen. This guy did a good job of breaking it down. That's the reason I'm playing it.
Reset has stated that 2022 is the year of the Great Reset. But
when we talk about 2019, he's telling you right here, 2022 is the year.
What if I were to tell you that the Great Reset is only the beginning of something much bigger that's right around the corner? Just like how in the sport of boxing, a true professional will never go for the knockout blow first. There's always a setup to that shot, like a jab. And as a matter of fact, the most popular combination in boxing is the 1-2, which is the jab, and then the cross, which is the knockout blow. Now in 2022, our opponent will indeed throw the jab, and that we all know as the Great Reset. However, there's something that will follow that is much, much more powerful that could potentially serve as the knockout blow. Just like how in chess, a checkmate is often unexpected. So in this video, we'll be covering what that knockout blow is, and there's 3 things that are on the horizon right now that could happen in 2022 that will set up that 1-2 shot. Now, of course, at this point, we all know that the Great Reset is an agenda created by the World Economic Forum to reset our entire global economy and politics to be controlled by a centralized government with the tagline we all heard by now: you will own nothing and you will be happy. But now there is something that will follow the Great Reset, the knockout blow, if you will, and it's being called the Great Narrative. So what is this Great Narrative? Well, according to the World Economic Forum website, the Great Narrative is a collaborative effort of the world's leading thinkers to fashion long-term perspectives and co-create a narrative that can help guide the creation of a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable version of our collective future.
We saw yesterday, in the last couple of days, these same great thinkers, you know, that's umbilical cord got together way back then and concocted JC. Impose that on the world. Same people. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Sure. Top thinkers from a variety of, oh gosh, sorry, fell asleep. Just a lot of fancy schmancy words, but it says and continues on by saying the reflections will be shared in a forthcoming book, The Great Narrative, expected for publication in January 2022. So they're writing a book now. I wonder where they got that from. Now, according to another page by the WEF website, the Great Narrative is pretty much a how-to guide in terms of how the Great Reset and the process it will be implemented. Well, from their perspective at least. Our perspective looks a little different. So in going back to the boxing analogy, it seems that 2022 is going to be a pivotal year for the Great Reset and also the Great Narrative. And I anticipate the jab coming in 2022. And I have 3 predictions on how this is going to happen. So let's go ahead and start with number 1, which is that this could very much be the year in which we see the early stages of implementation of a national social credit system. So for those that might not be as familiar with a social credit system, well, according to an article written by The Hill, a social credit system is a combination of both government and business surveillance that gives citizens a score that can restrict the ability of individuals to take action such as purchasing plane tickets, acquiring properties, or taking loans because of behaviors. Now, obviously, it's been made famous because of China, but a lot of people may say that America, in a million years, will never adopt this. Well, that's interesting because in the same article written by The Hill, PayPal announced a partnership with the left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center to investigate the role of white supremacists and propagators of anti-government rhetoric. Subjective labels that potentially impact a large number of groups of people using their service. PayPal says that collected information will be shared with other financial firms and politicians. And it continues on by saying Facebook is taking similar measures, recently introducing messages that ask users to snitch on their potentially extremist friends, which, considering the platform's bias, seems to mainly target the political right. At the same time, Facebook and Microsoft are working with several other web giants and the United Nations on a database to block potential extremist content. And well,
so let's look at that right quick for a minute because it's important. So he mentioned earlier these great thinkers. So it's like Mark Zuckerberg and all these people that got their own Facebook and Google and all that. But the thing about it is, just imagine if you're not aware of who you are. And at this time right now in prophecy, you hadn't attached yourself to the Most High. You know how easily all these other people, like we was talking earlier, how easy they being manipulated and laid off. They don't have no substance, no meat, no nothing to ward off what these people doing. If you're not aware of what's going on, and you're not in the scriptures, and you're not attaching yourself to the Lord of hosts, and you just like a sheep being led to the slaughter. So to be attached to the Most High and searching out the scriptures and all that it's not a better place you can be at. It's mandatory. The average person don't understand that. You won't stand a chance.
Chances are right below this screen that I'm talking to you in is this little guy right here. Now, a lot of people at this point may say, I would totally stand up to a social credit system. That isn't right. Just like how a lot of people, for some reason, today are saying that they would have never supported the Nazis if they were living during those times. Well, there's a famous quote that says, history never repeats itself, but it sure does have its patterns. Because let me ask you this. Imagine if there was a mandate for all of those who are not vaccinated to be quarantined into these special camps. It would improve the overall health and the betterment of our society, and it was only temporary. Well, how many people would 100% support that? My theory is there would be plenty of people who would support it. Or even the other way around. Imagine if there was a mandate that those who were vaccinated weren't allowed in certain stores and they were being made fun of. How many people would support that? I'd say same story. Of course, the main point is that perhaps we're not that far off from a national social credit system being implemented in America, which will eventually lead to a great reset and a great narrative. And this is what brings us to point number 2 and what can happen this year, which is economic stagflation and the progression of universal basic income. Now, real quick, for those of you that may not be familiar with stagflation is characterized by slow economic growth and relatively high unemployment, or economic stagflation, which at the same time is accompanied by a high rate of inflation. Now, first and foremost, any person, whether or not you have an economics degree, can probably tell you that inflation is much higher than the reported 7%. I mean, the dollar store has become the $1.25 store. And even rappers nowadays, they're not even making it rain anymore. They're making it hail, because it's coins, not dollar bills.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the...
So, yeah, this video right here is, the name of it is, you want to watch it. It's, the Great Reset is only the start of something worse. Yeah, so like he said, it's coming. All this stuff is coming. It's projected to come in 2022. And coming. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right here, I'm gonna open up for some comments or questions. Anybody got anything they want to bring up? I got a couple of questions I got off the line.
I would like to bring up the topic on the cryptocurrency. Has anybody been keeping up with it or know the latest news, anything like that? I was reading a couple of things today, but I just didn't know if anyone else was keeping up with any information.
Yeah, cryptocurrency taking over. They're trying to curb it, but they can't. Yeah, it's taking over.
Right. I was reading, they was saying, Bitcoin was not doing good, but then they said, yeah, but when it comes back, it's going to come back stronger.
Right. Ain't that how they operate?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it'll set you up first, make you think it's down, and then all of a sudden it comes back. But when it comes back way stronger than it was.
Right.
That's the intention all along.
And even I know you guys have heard of Fidelity, the investment firm.
Right.
They were even what you was talking about, getting into the metaverse stuff, dealing with crypto.
Right. It's like I was saying, when you look at us, when somebody that's in the scriptures and all that, when you see that metaverse stuff, don't that look satanic and wicked?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't see it like that. They don't see it. They're gonna go right into it, go right headstrong, right off into it.
Right.
Just like these people did with the pain pills. They brought out the pain, bring out the pills, and told them take this. This is what you're gonna need to take. They jumped dead on.
Right.
You know, you don't have the Lord of hosts, and you're not seeking wisdom and knowledge and understanding and protection. You're gonna go for the okey doke.
Right. You're gonna fall into it every time.
Yeah, but you have no shield, nothing up. You don't have no hedge. You won't go for it. You ain't doing, that knowledge is what, centers you,
Right.
get you focused, get you thinking right.
And I just really think again that, we are really catching on to this cryptocurrency now. Before, it was not as popular among blacks as it is now.
Right.
And I think they're always trying to do something to throw us off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they watching the numbers too. It's a lot of Africans becoming millionaires over the cryptocurrency. A lot of Black Americans becoming millionaires over the cryptocurrency. They ain't talking about it. Just like it's a bunch of blacks leaving here, a bunch of them preparing to leave here, and a bunch of them want to get the hell out of here.
Right.
And they know that. They
That's
trying
true.
to curb it. Just like they trying to, as we speak, Biden got 2 or 3 bills in place right now trying to curb the cryptocurrency.
Yep.
Trying to cut it off. But like I said, it's all been prophesied.
Right.
America got to go.
They even trying to come out with a bill about dealing with cryptocurrency internationally. They're even trying to do that. So don't let that discourage you. Still get you some Bitcoin. If you don't have it, get it.
Oh yeah. You need to have be invested in some cryptocurrency somewhere and just wait it out.
Right, just wait it out. That's right.
They say one coin with that I can't think of the name of the first coin that came out, but it says 25. They're looking for it to go up to $25,000 a coin. So, just let it. Because they talking crazy. Just let it sit there. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else any comments on that? Okay, I got something right here. I mean, Isaiah, just like some golden nugget you need to know. It's Isaiah 44. And it's let me get it. It goes back to, like I said, people reading over a lot of stuff, and it's right there in your face. It says 44 verse 1 says, "No, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen." And then, where I'm going is verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, it's the Lord of hosts, that made thee. Check it out. See that? Thus said the Lord of hosts that made thee. How did he make it? How did he make them? Form thee from the womb. See that? He didn't say created. Form thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jezreel, whom I have chosen. So let's go back right here. Go back to the beginning. Genesis right quick. As I say, this for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see. It ain't for everybody. So we see Genesis chapter. Okay. Genesis chapter 2, starting at verse 21. And the Lord God, let me see. Chapter 2, verse 5 says, "For every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused, the Lord God, it's the Lord of hosts, had not caused the rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. In verse 6, but there went up a mist from the earth, watered the whole face of the ground, and the Lord God formed. See that? So he's not saying formed over there in verse Isaiah 44:2 just for the hell of it. GP, when you follow the narrative, it's the reason he's saying formed. He says, and the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his life, into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. So now we get over here to Isaiah 44:2, and he got Jacob that had 12 sons. And he's telling us that each one of them people that coming forth as Israelites, he formed them in the womb. Or they came forth through their mother's womb. Okay? With that firmament. Okay? Anyway, so anybody got any comments on that? Okay. So
I just
go ahead.
When you were reading that, I was just looking up the Jeshurun to see, and it was just saying that it's a poetic name for Israel.
Right, that's like with me, my name is Leonard, but I got a name that they attached to me from the 10th grade until now. It's Turk. They call me Turk. So, but he's right here, Israel continuously being rebellious against the Lord. That's their rebellious name, Jezreel. That's what that is. Right. So that Jezreel tied to Deuteronomy 28. Because Moses had already told them before he died what they was going to do.
Okay.
Is that something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else before we go into the class? I got another something I wanted to deal with is well, I'm gonna read it right now, but I'm gonna come back to it in class. I'm in Proverbs. So we always over in Psalms, in Proverbs. So 8, Proverbs 8. This all to put some people on notice right here. I'm in Psalms, Proverbs 8, verse 27. So it says, do it not wisdom and understanding, put forth her voice. So we see right here, this is what I mean by, you're not going to be able to get to the point where you can see this stuff and really divide it in 3 months, 6 months. It ain't going to happen. Because you been latched on to something that you swore that was right, and then the Most High deal with you 3 years later or 4 or 5 years later, and you come to find out, it's way more to it than what you thought it was. So it says right here, doeth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice. So you're gonna get the Sammy Sausage Head and Ricky Rocket Head, all them gonna read that, and the first thing they're gonna say is, see her voice. Doeth not wisdom cry, and her understanding put forth her voice. So they convinced that wisdom is a woman. So we're gonna go into the class. We're gonna come back to that. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And this happened. Me, I see it so many times every day. And then you can't continually keep correcting a person, because then they're gonna think you know it all. But you have to use some tact. Leave them alone, because you constantly checking them, because just looking at they're going in the wrong direction. You have patience, and to guide them. It's not that you trying to overpower them. You see where they're going off track. So anyway, so we're gonna go into the lesson, and like I was saying before, it's the Gospels, according to what we had deal with the other day. Piso is Josephus. He hiding behind this Josephus name, but he's actually a Edomite of royalty. So let me go play it. I was looking for this last night, so I went back and found it. And it's tied to how I was telling you why so many women all at the tomb and all that in the Gospels. About 6 Marys at the tomb. So let me get it. I'm gonna just let it play. Now I'll point it out as we go.
So non-literal observance of the Torah. Politically, however, the Pharisees had no sympathy with the intense Jewish nationalism of such sects as the military patriots.
So what you have to understand about this before we get into it is when you see the Pharisees, Sadducees, and all that, them Edomites. That's why we know the Pharisees was fanatical. Like I said before, when those 200 angels came down, once they went into the women, they possessed they became perverted. That's what these Edomites happened to them. Once they killed those Israelites and stole the land of Israel, a perversion came up on them. An unnatural perversion. They thought they called it zeal, but it was perverted. And they didn't have, he tell us, Jacob, he gave the oracles. His oracles, he gave them to Jacob. He didn't give them to Esau. So let's look at that right quick and make it plain. Isaiah 66. We're going to look at it and make it plain before we go. So he tells you right here in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 5, he says, Isaiah 66 and 5, hear the word of the Lord, talking to the Israelites, ye that tremble at his word, and your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. See that? So they stole the land in Obadiah for the reason they wanted to deal with the Lord of hosts. They wanted to keep the Israelites out. They wanted to be in that land because they knew the Lord of hosts was there. They wanted to deal with them, but he wasn't dealing with them. And the way they got the land was the reason why they had this perversion. He wasn't communicating with them. He was right there and saw what they done. Okay, so now we're gonna go into it. So these Pharisees and Sadducees, the reason why there's so much chaos going on, these zealots and the Sakari and all that, them Edomites, they got a perverted form of understanding and way of life of the Israelites.
Patriotic zealots, and were willing to submit to Roman rule if only the Jews could maintain their religious independence. All right, they didn't kill the Romans as long as they allowed them to practice. In AD 64, Josephus was sent to an embassy to Rome to secure the release of a number of Jewish priests of his acquaintance who were held prisoners in the capital. There he was introduced.
Those Jewish priests, they're not Israelites, they're not Levites. They on the west coast of Africa.
So Poppaea Sabina, Emperor Nero's second wife, whose generous favor enabled him to complete his mission successfully.
See right here, he just said this lady right here, P.O.P.P. Sabinus, Emperor Nero's second wife. See, all these people, all these women right here, is powerful women with money, but they got rules in place that came down from the beginning where the Most High had set up. And so, but they can, they can't succeed or do anything else. The son comes in, the brother or whatever, or it's the man that come in. They have all this power and wealth, and they've been educated, but they can't do nothing.
During his visit, Josephus was deeply impressed with Rome's culture and sophistication, especially its military might. All right, so I ain't touched the hijack because we're talking about Piso. All right, this is the narrative that they give us. This is the so-called Josephus. All right, again, in first century Romani, his Jewish historian and military leader, best known for the Jewish wars, and was born in Jerusalem, then part of Roman Judea, to a father of priestly descent and a mother who claimed royal ancestry. All right, initially fought against the Roman.
He just mentioned right here, the mother claimed royal, so they go through the mother. They go through the mother. Most High tell us the man had a seed. They go through the woman.
During the First Jewish-Roman War, as head of the Jewish forces in Galilee, supposedly, right? That's according to Josephus. Until surrendering in 67 to Roman forces led by Vespasian. All right, Vespasian. Oh, so he surrendered to Vespasian. But how could he surrender if he's actually peaceful? They were working together, remember? He helped Vespasian seize Jerusalem. Titus, right? He helped Titus. It says that after a 6-week siege of Judphat, Josephus claimed the Jewish Messianic prophecy that initiated the first Jewish-Roman war made reference to Vespasian becoming emperor of Rome. So this is big. We're going to see that supposedly Josephus prophesied that Vespasian would become an emperor. He made a prophecy and it became true. Well, of course, it's going to become true when you're writing the story, right? And you know what's going to happen, and you're a piece, so you're not really. And why would a Hebrew, a Jew, be prophesying that? Why would he be claiming that and making him look good like that? In response, Vespasian decided to keep Josephus as a slave and a presumably interpreter, right? So we're going to already see that that's false.
So you see right here how these people they manipulating events, and they trying to emulate the prophets and the Lord of hosts. And he tells you, Gabriel told you in Daniel that only me and Michael looking on this book, and that's why they can come and tell the prophets, and the prophet tell the people, and it come to pass because they already know it's gonna happen because they looking on the book. That's what these people trying to emulate. Like I was saying before about the 400-year prophecy. If you already know you're gonna make it happen. You know, and we see how they put JC in there. They manipulating time and like he said, that in Daniel chapter 8, that he was gonna come and he was gonna change times and laws and all that. That's what he's talking about. They manipulating because they know what they're gonna do. Like I said about the money, it's gonna be the East Coast gonna get wiped out because it's on the money. It's gonna happen.
Right, and the book is saying that was false, right? After Vespasian became emperor in 69 CE, he granted Josephus his freedom, at which time Josephus assumed the emperor's family's name of Flavius. Also, he adopted the name Flavius. Now he's a Flavius. You see the story? And the hijack? Flavius Josephus fully defected to the Roman side. So all of a sudden, he's just a full Roman and was granted Roman citizenship. All of a sudden, this Hebrew, right, this Jew from Jerusalem, all of a sudden, not only is he getting citizenship and went to the Roman side, he got their name. He started being down with their family members, okay? He became an advisor and friend of Vespasian's son Titus. Wait, Josephus and Titus, Titus was the same one, right, who serving as his translator when Titus led the siege of Jerusalem. Who was the translator? So Josephus, Vespasian's son's friend or advisor, right, translator. And just like when the Spaniards and conquistadors came, they had these so-called translators, these Moorish translators with the Indians, right, the in-between guy. So he helped Titus lead the siege of Jerusalem, Josephus, right, against his own people in 70 CE. Since the siege proved ineffective at stopping the Jewish revolt, the city's pillaging and looting and destruction of Herod's temple, Second Temple, soon followed. Josephus recorded Jewish history with special emphasis on the 1st century CE and the First Jewish-Roman War, including the siege of Masada. His most important works were the Jewish War, the Antiquities of the Jews, the Jewish War recounts, the Jewish revolt against Roman occupation. Antiquities of the Jews recounts the history of the world from a Jewish perspective for an ostensibly Greek and Roman audience. This is who he was writing for. His works provide valuable insight into the 1st century Judaism and the background of early Christianity. Early Christianity. Really, Flavius Josephus. I didn't say it. This ain't a conspiracy book. Josephus' works are the chief source next to the Bible for the history and antiquity of ancient Palestine and provide a significant and independent extra-biblical account of such figures as Pontius Pilate, Herod the Great, John the Baptist, James the Just, and possibly Jesus of Nazareth. Josephus, son of Matthias. Sorry, that's going to be very important later on. If you guys don't know who Joseph of Arimathea is, Joseph of Arimathea, is actually Josephus, son of Matthias. Yeah, we're gonna get
right. So Joseph of Arimathea, if you don't know, is the one that supposedly took JC off the cross, and he put him in his tomb. Right, but he's showing you right here is Josephus, same person.
Get to that later on. Don't worry. It says he was born into one of Jerusalem's elite
here we go,
families.
right here.
He was the second-born son of a Jewish priest. His older, full-blooded brother was also like his father, called Matthias. Their mother was an aristocratic woman who descended from the royal and formerly ruling Hasmonean Dynasty.
See, here we go, right here. See that? The mother of royalty with a whole lot of money and influence, right? But she formerly Hasmonean Dynasty. When you understand that goes back to the Maccabeans. And so they saying that when you come into the New Testament, everything is tied to this Hasmonean Dynasty. That ain't tied to David. The Most High got a covenant with David. He's always the ruling class and the kings and all them coming out of David's lineage. These Hasmoneans ain't out of David's lineage. That's an insult right there. And the only way they can slide that through is because of people not biblically literate. When it comes to that, they dumbed us down and gave us a New Testament. And we born into the New Testament reading that. We don't go into all the stuff in the Old Testament. So this Hasmonean Dynasty is tied to this Solicitus. I showed you where Antichrist came out of. One of the generals that Alexandra chose, divided the Greek kingdom up. This is the narrative right here. So it's a mother. See where it's predicated off of? It's a mother. That's how Esau deals.
Okay. Hasmonean, right? I told you we're going to get into the Hasmonean. So he's supposedly Hasmonean. But remember, he's a Piso. He's not even a real Josephus. That's not his real name. But maybe the Piso might be a Hasmonean. But what is a Hasmonean dynasty? According to Wikipedia, Hasmonean dynasty was a ruling dynasty of Judea and surrounding regions during the classical antiquity from 140 BC to 37 BC. All right? It says that the dynasty ruled Judea semi-autonomously from the Seleucid Empire.
See that?
All right? So remember the Seleucids. So
like I told you, them Edomites, like I said, what they done did is they didn't lift it up, because people ain't doing no research. They didn't lift it up the Edomite. They got a hold of our scriptures and they elevate their people and denigrate ours. We found out that Job was from Oz. That's a city over in Edom. And then Moses, he tells us that Noah was perfect, but after he got out the boat, he was drunk. So they denigrate, then Jacob a usurper. He supposedly tricked Esau and got the birthright, but we know that he bought the birthright from Esau willingly sold him the birthright. But because we don't have a lack of understanding, they done hoodwinked our scriptures. Well, they got us believing one thing when that ain't even the case. And then they done lifted up their people in the scriptures right in front of our face, but we don't see what's going on. So you see this right here? It says Seleucid Empire. Let me show you something. I wasn't gonna go there, but I gotta go there right quick. I'm gonna show you this. So let's look at it. See right there behind me? See that? That's the four generals right here. They go to Seleucid. See that? That's the people he talking about right here. And they go to Antichrist. He came out of that group of people. But they got us, when you're reading about the Maccabees, they got you thinking that these Israelite people, these people Israelites, they ain't no Israelites. They're Edomites. So let's look at that. Let's go back. Okay.
Who were the Seleucids? They were the ones pushing the Hellenistic beliefs, culture, religion.
So what you have is You got Edomites in the land of Israel, and then these people that's supposedly fighting against Edomites, Greeks and Edomites, crossbreds, and no Israelites there.
The Jewish, to the point where they were trying to eradicate the whole Jewish belief, ban their practices, force them to convert, you know, all that stuff.
And that's the only way Christianity came on the scene. They attacked Israel, they attacked our culture and denigrated it, and they covered it over with Christianity.
And they were ruling at the same time, the Hasmoneans and the Seleucids. See, these Hasmoneans were the ones really beefing the ones. They were the ones trying to keep the code, supposedly, the Hasmoneans, okay? But with the empire disintegrating, the Hasmonean Dynasty, Judea gained further autonomy and expanded into the neighboring regions of Samaria, Galilee, Uteria, Perea, and Idumea. Right? Idumea, Edomites, Idumea. The Hasmonean rulers of the Greek title Egypt.
Yeah, so right here, I was telling you about how he tells you in the scriptures that they change the times and the time, locations, and all that on a lot of stuff. So you check this out right here.
The Roman Republic. He sacked Jerusalem and its temple, suppressing Jewish and Samaritan religious and cultural observances, and imposed Hellenistic practices. They try to, you see what they did? They pushed their thoughts, Hermes teachings, their alchemy, their Hellenistic practices, the steady collapse of the Seleucid Empire, under attack from the rising powers of the Roman Republic and the Parthian Empire, allowed Judea to regain some autonomy. However, in 63 BC, the kingdom was invaded by the Roman Republic, broken up and set up as a Roman client state. All right, so again, that's a little bit, just a real quick history of the Hasmonean dynasties and the Maccabeans. Remember the Maccabean Revolts? All right, the Maccabean Revolts, just read up on that real quick. Again, this is just Wikipedia, general knowledge. Just want you guys to see the mainstream, what they tell people. And we're going to get, again, the background stories of all this, hopefully, in a more clear way. And it says here, the Maccabean Revolt was a Jewish rebellion led by the Maccabees against the Seleucid Empire and against Hellenistic influence. Against Hellenistic influence, Hermes, on Jewish life, on the Hebrews. The main phase of the revolt lasted from 167 to 1.
So there it is right there. See that? 167 through 160 BC. That's the time. They didn't change the time. The time I showed you was 143 BC, before the Common Era. See how they didn't flip it off? But that's the actual timeline. That's where all the drama coming in. Even to the day with the Israelite. That's why he can't rightly divide these scriptures and rightly break them down, because they didn't flip this time right here. They didn't flipped it off. And you have to understand that. If you really want to find out what's really going on, you go back and do research on this timeline right here, from 167 to 70 AD. Because during that time, Edomites was there, but they telling us Israelites was there. Wasn't no Israelites there; it was gone. And once you go through and get the timeline and all that was happening with that during that timeline, what actually happened, a lot of stuff come together. Okay, so anybody got any comments? Cool. I'm gonna show you something else. I'm gonna close out. And like I was showing, like I said, they by the time when you get to the Council of Nicaea and you get to Constantine and all that, all these aristocratic women, when they came to the Council of Nicaea, had investments in there. That's what Constantine got his support from. And they was telling him to bring the woman into the picture. When you do whatever you're gonna do with these books, bring the woman into the picture. And that's why you see women all over the place. Okay. So, any comments? And I got this one last thing I'll show you. I'm going back to Psalms. I'm going back to Proverbs. To 8 and 27. Okay, so let's go back to Psalm Proverbs. Nobody have a question? Okay, in Proverbs 8 and 27. And so what happened is people would want to go with status quo. today, and as if that's okay. We can do this and we can do that. Now, Most High, when He come back, He taking us back to where everything was. And so you can lose out on a lot of information and not being able to get lined out with scriptures because you're dealing with things as you're looking at them now today, when that was unheard of back in the day. So many things happening now was unheard of, was abominable back in the day. So let's look at it. Proverbs chapter 8. I'm gonna read the whole chapter, but I read earlier in 27 where it says, let me read 27. 8 in chapter 8 and verse 27. So this is what I mean by plucking a verse out. So it says, 27 says, when He prepared the heavens, look at this. When He prepared the heavens, I was there. When He set the compass upon the face of the earth, when he set the compass upon the face of the depth, I was there. So anybody got it? Who you think that is? Anybody got any comments?
The Most High you talked about? Well, this is David. It
ain't David. David wasn't there in the beginning when he set the compass upon the face.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So who is that?
That's the Lord of hosts talking about the Most High.
Right. 27 is He. 27 is when He, as Yahweh, Lord of hosts, Yahweh, prepared the heavens. I was there. That's Him and Michael. That's in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, right? Hello?
Right.
Okay.
So it's when He prepared the heavens, I was there. That's in the very beginning. So if you've been dealing with Prophets of the Awakening, you already know what that is. So and it says, I was there, and when He set the compass of the face of the earth, so there ain't nobody but the Lord of hosts. And it lines right up with Isaiah 43 and 10, all them when He said, I was the first one formed, all that line up. But anyway, what I want to go back to, I'm in chapter 8. So look how chapter 8 start out though. Do not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her view, her voice. See, they done plugged into her. Because you get to 27, we know that's Michael. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna read the whole thing. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. And then you got to go get you a Dr. Pepper or something because you've been hoodwinked. So chapter 8 verse 1, doeth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice. So this clown, whoever did this, out the gate, verse 1 got you thinking that wisdom is a woman. Then verse 2, he's still going on with it. She standeth in the top of the high places, by the way, in the places of path. She crieth at the gate. Watch this. At the entry of the city, at the coming in of the door. Upon you, O men, I cry, and my voice is to the sons of men. And ye simple, understanding wisdom, and ye fools, excuse me, be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I, this a woman, right? So far, it's a woman. Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abominable to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instructions, not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom, here you go. Up until this point, is a woman. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, dwelleth with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine. Look at this. Counsel is mine. The sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me, kings. Here you go. This where it get interesting. By me, kings reign, and by princes decree justice. Who over there? Who calls the kings to live and to rise and fall? Who over the best part of mankind?
The Lord of hosts.
Okay, yeah. By me, kings reign, and princes decree justice. That's the Lord of hosts. By me, princes rule. See that? And nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me. See that? And those that seek me. See that? Who he's seeking in the latter days? Hello? Who we
The
seeking in
righteous
the
of
latter days?
Israel, right?
He says, who said, seek me in the latter days and I'll find me?
The Lord of hosts.
See this right here? I love them that love me, and those that seek me early will find me. See that? That's the Lord of hosts. Riches and honor are with me. See that? The Lord of hosts says he got the cattle on 1,000 hills. Riches and honor are with me. Ye, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, that fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness and in the midst of the path of judgment. See that? Judgment. Who's over judgment?
Lord of hosts.
Lord of hosts over judgment. Yeah. That I may cause those that love me to inherit. Who is doing our stuff? Who inheriting and giving our stuff? It ain't no wisdom, no woman. It's the Lord of hosts. Then it says, the Lord possessed me in the beginning. See that? The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way before his works of old. Ain't that what Michael told us in Isaiah? Before the day was, I am he, and I was the first one formed. See that?
Yes.
Okay. Now it says, and I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was, when there was no depths, I was brought forth. See that? This ain't no woman. This ain't no, this clown injected that in there. See that? So then it says 24, and when there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there was no foundation abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills were, I was brought forth. He was formed. So while as I yet had not made the earth. See that? It's right here. Nor the fields, nor the highest parts of the dust of the world. When he prepared, look at this verse 27. We read it in context now. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass up upon the face of the earth. When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the foundations of the deep. When he gave the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandments. When the appointment of the foundations of the earth. When I was by him. See that? Come on. When I was by him, as one brought up with him, and as I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable parts of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. That he's over the sons of men. The Lord of hosts is over the sons of men. Now, therefore, hearken unto me, all ye, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instructions and be wise and refuse not. Blessed is the man that hear me. Come on. Watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me. See that? Now let's look at that. We're going all the way in on that one. So he says, for he that sinneth against me. Now let's look at it. We're going to go to Exodus. We're going to go to Exodus 23 right quick. I'm almost at the end. Exodus 23. 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, obey his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in. So he oversees. So let's look at what it says. 36. chapter 8, Proverbs 8:36. But he that sinneth against me, see that? Wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. There it is. See that deception? You got
Yes.
3 million, 10, 15, 20 million people. You have to knock them in the head and tell them that that it's not no woman. It's the Lord of hosts.
Right.
That's the depth of the understanding. And like I said, you don't get there no 3 months, 6 months. It ain't gonna happen. So yeah, that's how that goes. And like I said, when the Most High prepared Jeremiah, prepared all these other prophets, he ain't half-ass prepared. He brought them all the way out. They got, when the question come up pertaining to the Lord of hosts, they know. Simple as that. It ain't that they know it all. You ain't just start doing this 2-3 weeks ago. It's been since 2098, 99. 1999. So we ain't just started. Right.
And if you was reading this chapter really on your own with no understanding, you would think that that's the woman coming, trying to say, learn my ways.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what they're doing. Like I said,
you got
all these women. Yeah, you got all these women that was in the background, aristocratic women with money that funded with the Council of LC and Fonte Constantine and all them, and they made it a point. A transition happened at that point. But like I said, you get clowns that want to come in and say you this and you that. No, look at it. You just broke it down. Ain't no way in here. Let me read one more thing. I got this right. My book. I wrote a book. Let me see. Yeah, it's my book right here. So I'm reading out of that. And it has the characteristics of these 7 angels that nobody seems to know about. I'm gonna read it. So this Michael's, according to what we just read. So here you go right here. It says, these are the characters, Michael's roles. Yes, in the beginning, he formed 7 angels. Now they got roles. So this Michael role, one of the holy angels. There ain't but 7 holy angels. One of the holy angels who preside over human virtue. See that? He over sons of men. That's what this so-called woman just said, that she's light with the sons of men. Right? Virtue commands nations and is the Lord of all the archangels. He is the commander in chief of the holy army and the archangels. Michael means the one who is like Yahweh, or one who looks like Yahweh. He is the defender of the elements of fire and the angel protection, justice, righteousness, strength, mercy, repentance, sanctification. He is the prince of the archangels and of the angelic host. He is the angelic deliverance, angel of deliverance, the great prince who standing for Israel. Archangel Michael is figured as the greatest and most revered angel in the scriptures. Michael is the most powerful of all angels. He is considered the general of the angels. His authority, look at that, his authority is not solely restricted to the angelic ranks, but extends into the realm of both heaven and earth. Michael is chief in the order of virtue and the prince of presence. He is a natural enemy of all that is evil and unjust. His role as an archangel is one of battle, and he's always holding a sword. Michael is benevolent in nature, and his role as a warrior often requires him to be wrathful as well, for which Yahweh appointed him as the holy ruler of heaven and declared him the angelic prince of Israel. So if that ain't Proverbs chapter 8, I don't know what the hell is. Okay? So like I was saying before, you could be in a certain place and read it and you don't have the right understanding or the right people in place to rightly divide it. Right there, you'd be off down Prim Road, screaming and hollering with somebody about wisdom is a woman. Okay? So, yeah. Any comments before we go? I thought I want to share that with y'all.
I just want to say also in Proverbs, it says, The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Right. Exactly. It's one and the same. Everything you read in Proverbs chapter 8 is the Lord of hosts.
Right.
It's all one and the same. Ain't no, they say, yeah, crazy. So I don't know if nobody heard about it, but let me play this right quick and we're gonna get out of here. This is let me get it right quick. You heard about the black justice, female justice, Biden supposed to be appointed. Anybody heard that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this right here. So we're saying that all hell gonna break loose too. Can you see that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hold up. I messed up.
If he appointed her, I don't care if she black or green.
Right. Something ain't right,
Yeah, if he appointed her, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, we know it's a trick. Like they set us up with Obama. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, here you go.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, a lot of people are hot and bothered right now by the fact that Biden has confirmed that a black woman will replace Justice Breyer as SCOTUS. A lot of people, such as Tucker Carlson and others like him, they can't stand this. They're really upset by it, and they are voicing their opinions on it very, very clearly. I think they're afraid. What are they afraid of? Okay, so I use the icon on the screen with a woman with an afro, so it can be undeniable that we're talking about a black woman here. He hasn't selected which black woman he's going to choose at this point. He has until February to do that, but he says that it will definitely be a black woman. So anyway, take a listen at this short report, and I will be right back.
President Joe Biden on Thursday said he intends to announce his Supreme Court nominee to succeed Justice Stephen Breyer by the end of February. "I have made no choice at this point," Biden said at the White House. But the president also confirmed that he will follow through on his campaign promise to nominate a black woman to the High Court. "I will keep that commitment," the president said. In a letter sent earlier Thursday, the 83-year-old justice told Biden he expected to step down when the court begins its summer recess around late June, assuming that by then my successor has been nominated and confirmed by the Senate. Democrats hold a razor-thin majority in the chamber, which is split 50-50. Vice President Kamala Harris would be the tie-breaking vote. "I enormously appreciate the privilege of serving as part of the federal judicial system," Breyer wrote. "I have found the work challenging and meaningful. My relations with each of my colleagues have been warm and friendly."
So ain't that something? So what you think? That's all hell gonna break loose on that one, ain't it?
Yes, and I think Biden is trying to put some band-aids on some things that he promised the black people, and he did not uphold that. So
that ain't the way to do it.
You're right, but
that's the way to do it right there. That's all hell gonna break loose on that.
Yeah, it really is. It is.
Exactly.
And pretty much I can say, that's the kind of stuff Biden likes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, the powers that be got him doing. Yeah. Ain't that something?
And they said Harris is the one that what did they say about her? She's the one that can.
She's the deciding factor.
Oh.
That's what happened with all of everything they've been doing. It's been down the middle, split 50-50. Then she come in and make the deciding factor or vote. That's why the Republicans going off, because no matter what they do, Kamala Harris is gonna come in and make this, and it's gonna go in with Democrats to favor.
Democratic, right?
But they got this old other guy, which is he ain't nothing but a Republican, but he acting like he's a Democrat. Manchin, he's throwing everything in the cross. That's why they wasn't able to pass the last bill, or whatever that was. They was dealing with Build Back Better because he broke ranks.
Yeah. So I have a question. Why do you think Biden is really doing this?
Well, you have to understand, like I was saying before, with the New Testament, it's a group of people that nobody never even talks about that's making all these decisions. It's a think tank. Like I said, like the guy was breaking down on the video. These people, these rulings, say they are ascended from the fallen angels, and they feel in their heart they got right to rule over us. We peons. They got a right to rule over us. So they the ones came together and wrote the New Testament and imposed it on the world up until this day. They the ones imposed it. Everything that you see happening, they imposed it on the world. When World War One broke out, they the ones that made the decision that World War One break out. That Great Britain was gonna fall and America was gonna rise. They the ones making the decision now that America gonna fall and China gonna rise. They the ones behind the scenes. That's what I'm saying about when you start trying to write and divide the scriptures. You can't. They didn't hoodwink the scriptures. The 2019, the United States government the one came out and made it said that was legitimate. And nobody was riding with it until the United States government came out. Trump, out of all people, passed that 1942 bill, saying that 2019 was a year of return and all that. Trump set that off. Like I said before, in Jasher, he told you they was looking at the scripture just like Jeremiah was, and they said it was time to go. That was prophesied by Abraham long ago. That's what the prophecy pertaining to. Hosea is the one prophesying to us. 2 days, 2,000 years. That's the prophet. That's what we supposed. But they didn't wipe that out, took that out of our understanding. Nobody don't understand that.
This seemed like kind of like maybe another Obama type situation where
it is.
they appeasing the black people at the same time upsetting the whites so that it could be a problem, and then the person that's a black person ain't gonna do nothing for black people anyway.
Right. It's an old trick. It's an old trick, and like I was saying, if we ain't figured it out, they're gonna keep on using the same trick on us. That's just like I was looking at a video. I'm gonna play it tomorrow, but the lady was talking about how LeBron James sent that tweet out or whatever it was, TikTok or whatever. He sent it out about the flu, the cold, and the cocoa. You know what the cocoa is, but yeah. So everybody in uproar about it. Now they just about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to taunt, to call itself disciplining LeBron, bringing him back in the fold. They've been doing that.
He's been a sellout, yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that forever and a day. Like I said, with W. Du Bois. You got any black kid that went to what they call those HBC. They got W. Du Bois up on a pedestal. When they used him to denigrate and to run Marcus Garvey out of America.
Right, I remember.
He ain't no hero, but they got us brainwashed. Just like I was just looking at ain't that something that the guy said he gonna step down at the end of February? Ain't that Black History Month?
Yep.
And then so they gonna nominate this woman doing Black History Month.
Wow.
Come on, man. It's crazy. Ain't no coincidence.
But it's so many people that don't see that.
Right. You can't
watch how many posts be on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere talking about this black woman.
Oh, yeah. They'll be dancing in the streets again like they did at the voting for Biden.
And when they did when Obama came in office,
right?
They crying all over the place.
Yeah.
So how can you be a descendant of slaves? They're gonna want to try to connect them to us when he from South Africa. But how can you be a descendant of slaves and even fix your lips to say that you ain't trying to deal with reparations? Come on, man. You're gonna be a descendant of slaves which means you're an Israelite, but you ain't down with reparations. Come on, man. You ain't attached to the people in America, the African American. If you against that, something wrong with you.
He is not no Israelite for one.
Right.
For two, he is. He said he wasn't just he wasn't the president of, he wasn't doing things specific for black people. He was president of everybody, but everybody else got something but us. The Indians, the Hispanics, the LGBTQ,
yeah.
everybody else.
Exactly.
But he was the
Everybody
president
else.
of everybody. It's
right. That let you know that he wasn't calling the shots. That's what they let you know.
Right.
Yeah. So we at 1:45, hour and 45 minutes. I hope somebody got something out of this. So
yes,
we're gonna. Nobody don't have anything else. We're gonna let me get you with this line. In chat. I'm hoping that like I said before, if somebody out there in YouTube world want to come in and interact with us on the Women's Night with the they want the link, you just contact us and then we'll send you the link so you can get involved. If you know somebody that want to come on, invite them. So with that being said, I was gonna say shalom to everybody and do this again next week. Shalom.
Yes, great class.
Okay.